Good day, family, and welcome to the Power Up. I'm your host, Tami Hill Thomas. So glad that you're joining me today as we get equipped, educated, empowered, and elevated together. Come on, let's start our Power Up with Inside the News. Today, I share information during this holiday season. As you can see, I'm on site with some great specific interviews on the way, but we want to talk about the statistics, that information that individuals should consider during these holiday seasons. Whatever your faith, whatever your belief, this is a time when so many are struggling. So many are trying to figure out where even their next meal, their next, how they can pay their bills will come from. This is a hard time because this is a season when some are in bereavement and missing their loved ones. This is a season when anxiety and trauma, when hurt, regret, all those emotions start to bubble up. And we want to encourage you at the Power Up to remember that you still have so much of an opportunity to make a difference where you are. According to recent data, around 30% of annual charitable giving occurs in the month of December, with a significant portion of donations happening in the last few days of the year, making the holiday season the peak time for charitable giving. Roughly 10% of all donations occur within the last 3 days. We're very aware of Giving Tuesday and the fact that any giving that you do is tax deductible. In other words, it's a win-win. You're going to help a charitable, someone whose whole entity and their design and their mission is meant to help someone else. And you get to write it off. So when you need those tax deductions, how about the fact that you take the opportunity to help another individual win, another agency who might be providing assistance through food distribution, or maybe they're giving away blankets and coats for the winter as those freezing temperatures rise. Maybe they're doing offering soup kitchens, even giving away gifts. Come on, those babies want to get something for the holidays as well. Family, you have an ability to join the billions of individuals who raise dollars annually to make a difference. Now, that doesn't mean that missing your loved one is going to stop. It doesn't mean that while you're going through your own struggles in life, that those won't end. What it means is that sometimes in our hardest seasons, we move forward faster because we serve others. Having that servant leadership heart, or the opportunity to be a blessing, as my grandma would say, or even just to take the opportunity to make sure that that check is all meant to write off those babies fighting cancer. You can donate to those hospitals, or you can even volunteer. That's one of the best ways to help your energy level when you're dealing with depression. To get up and go to the shelter, go read to the babies at the hospital, go find a way to serve those who are often less fortunate than yourself. But charitable contributions are easy. Sometimes it's the little dollars. It's having 1,000 people give $20 that can make a huge difference. Younger donors under 30 tend to contribute a larger percentage of their annual giving during November and December compared to the older generations who want to make sure they get it in by the end of the calendar year because tax season is coming. Whenever you decide to use your heart monetarily, to use your time and your efforts, giving. I heard one young lady say the other day, she said, Tammy, I decided that I'm going to join a group of carolers. I'm going to go door to door. I just want to lift my voice because I need to get out the house and I've got to do something. How amazing is that? How selfless is that? That just to stand and lift the gift that you've been given No, not worried about money or trying to find a way to, help. This is how I'm going to help folks. It's just as beautiful. What are you doing to be a difference maker? Consider how you can be part of the national folks who see those Salvation Army Santas ringing the doorbell outside of the grocery store, because this is an opportunity for the Salvation Army to raise money. Do you know that they themselves have emergency shelters for people and serve those who live on the street? Do you know that the Red Cross is always open to receiving your blood donations during this time? Your monetary as well. And you can be one of those superheroes that shows up when there are fires and individuals experiencing trauma. But during these holidays, we want to make sure that you understand that 40% of Americans give more during the holidays, because that also helps in a healing process, helps with dealing with the life circumstances that often hurt. I'll tell you this is another holiday where I'll be without my hero, my dad. And one of the reasons this is so important is because it puts the power from the negative into the positive. It gives you the power back to say, yes, I'm hurting. And if I've got to cry and serve, that's what I'm going to do. If I've got to cry and sing, that's what I'm going to do. If I'm going to cry after I read to those babies, if I'm going to go to the dollar store and just load up stuffed animals and take them to the hospital, because that's what I want to do. And I'm going, whatever you do in the hurt is what can make you the true hero to someone else. So make sure, family, that just as the rest of the country may celebrate these holidays in a different state of mind, in a different emotional space, that you remember you have the power to make the difference where you are. We hope this information was helpful and inspiring. And since we're talking about how to give and how to be a difference, we're going to bring a key difference maker in a wonderful interview. So don't go anywhere. This is just going to get better. Stay tuned. There's more after this. Welcome back to the Power Up. We're so glad that you're hanging with us. What a wonderful opportunity to grow and be the difference. Remember that when you're better, you're a better brother, sister, mother, father, cousin, neighbor. You're a better parishioner. Everything you touch is better. So, in this space, we want to continue to grow and bring on one of our amazing guests. The Power Up is so glad to welcome Miss Magda Brown Gomez, who is joining us as always. She is a human services advocate. Magda, we're so glad you're back to remind us of how important it is to share our voice and make a difference now more than ever.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tami, and thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. Well, first, before we go any farther, I would like to congratulate you, Tami, because you're very humble, but you did an amazing, outstanding job with our combined federal campaign by being the host of our kickoff CFC Family Feud this past Giving Tuesday on December 17th. So it was just 3 days ago. It was outstanding. I mean, especially helping raise awareness for the CFC, your passion and dedication. I mean, not only help the CFC raise awareness and succeed in this program, but also created a lasting impact because we did a video, we recorded a video that we hopefully that people can actually see, anybody, not just had employees, but it was amazing, and we hope that that video can help motivate others and that it can help create a sense of awareness and of course to provide information so that people can know how, the different causes of CFC, or the Combined Federal Campaign, which I'm going to refer to as CFC here on. But how can we raise awareness? What are the different causes? How can you actually provide support or assistance in reference to the CFC? All of us can help our community. All of us can volunteer, and it just takes you wanting to do it. And so, as you mentioned, Tami, helping others. We help ourselves when we help others, and because helping others uplift us, and it shows us how strong we are as human beings, especially now that we are in the holidays. And so, just overall, thank you for your for your outstanding work, and for setting such a powerful example of leadership and compassion. And again, your participation was outstanding. You did a great job with the Family Feud
It's,
and with everything you do. Thank you.
oh, you are wonderful, Magda. It's always an honor to be able to do anything to support my peers in the federal workforce. It was certainly wonderful to witness individuals from all over the country come together to do hard work. We're going to talk about CFC in 1 second, but I can't just jump over the fact that you are who you are.
Oh,
A lot of what you do is on a daily basis now. First of all, thank you for your military service. You are active military, as well as being in a federal workforce, and a new mom, and a wife, and a voice for so many. One of the things that we appreciate at the Power Up is bringing information and education, as well as inspiration that empower people. We appreciate you coming today because you
oh,
are a voice not just for women, but especially in the Hispanic community.
thank you.
And that is major because it's more than just skin deep. You have taken a banner to be the one that brings equality to the forefront. And we just want to thank you for all that you do in the world.
Thank you. That is super outstanding. Thank you so much for saying that, Tommy. That is that is those are really big shoes to feel, what you just said. But I'm just really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to bring a voice, and I'm really happy to collaborate with different entities, especially this Christmas or holiday season, bringing awareness of how we can help our communities. And so thank you very much. I really appreciate you, and I encourage individuals, no matter what your background is, or your nationality, or your race, or I feel like all of us can definitely make an impact in our communities, and all of us have that power. It's just a matter of
Mhm.
knowing where to go, how to find it, and I believe that by helping others, we can also help ourselves, improving our communities. And as a new mom, as you mentioned, thank you so much. Yes, I'm a new mom, and I'm so overwhelmed by joy with my baby celebrating this holiday season for the first time. I think about my daughter Victoria, and I think about how much more excitement she has brought to my life, and to my eagerness to serve our communities, because it's gonna definitely impact whatever we do. It's gonna impact that next generation. And so I think about my daughter Victoria a lot. And also, I just want to thank you for everything you do, and for having this channel and opportunity to bring different voices to the table, and voice concerns, and it's all about the community and all about the people. So thank you so much, Tami.
Absolutely. One voice of gratitude to another. I recently, before we get into CFC, saw you host a huge platform within the federal government that brought multiculturals together to celebrate Hispanic Awareness Month, and the fact that Hispanic awareness is important as you grow the federal workforce.
Yeah.
So tell us, for those who might be my viewers that never thought about joining the federal workforce, what are some of the pluses that you see for those that might be of Latina or Hispanic descent?
Thank you so very much. Well, so not only for Hispanic or Latinoism, but for anybody, if you feel passionate about helping your community, about helping others, about making an impact nationwide, I think federal service it's the best way for you to go. And when people think about federal service, they think only about people sitting on a desk and but there are so many different careers and mission critical occupations. I mean, in federal service, and there are so many different federal agencies that you can join. I
Mm.
was actually at the library the other day. I like to take my daughter, and she's only 9 months old, but I still take her. There are so many opportunities that libraries, by the way, libraries have, you know, are an amazing platform of knowledge, as we all know, but they also have tons of activities that are free to the community. And they actually have a guide for federal service. So for anyone who's thinking about joining, who's graduating, who are not sure yet about what path to take, I urge you to actually look into uh, you know the federal service and also military service. There are so many ways and so many opportunities that are out there for the youth, and not only for the youth, but if you're thinking about changing careers, or regardless, right, regardless of your age, there are so many things that you can do if you want to contribute. I've seen engineers, accountants, I've seen people with social sciences, with fine arts degrees. There are so many things we have in federal service, from production to graphic designers, to, and I'm talking about the fine arts, and with I mean, but that's a whole nother topic, right? But with AI, there are just the opportunities are endless. So from graphic arts, to engineers, to accountants, to social service, definitely you can do, you can make a difference and an impact. So I will definitely recommend that for anyone looking for work, that you also look for federal service and actually joining the federal force.
That is awesome. And when
Yes.
I say she is the banner for what that means, and with it all, you still are an active military. How do you do it?
Thank you so much, Tommy. So, Um, you know, I'm in the Air National Guard through the Air Force. So it's outstanding. I really have done and been a part of different activities and programs that have been life changing. You through the military, you can help a lot of people. You can definitely make an impact with through your communities during natural disasters. And the Air Force, just as the Army or the Navy, they have different, under their umbrella, they have different opportunities. So you can go full time, full on, active duty, and that will be your job 24/7. That will be your job. Or you can go through the reserves or through your National Guard, where you serve 1 weekend per month. You still go through the same, all of those umbrellas go through the same basic military training and technical school. And so you're not evaluated by pockets. Like, here's the Air National Guard. Here's the everybody's. It's in the same training, and you have to pass the same qualifications. But then it's how often you serve. And so if you already have a career and if you're working full time, then the Air National Guard or the reserves will be best for you. But uh, just so that is the I think that is the key, balancing it out. So for me, I work full time and I do the Air National Guard 1 weekend per month, and it's work for me. I really enjoy it, and it's I will definitely think, and that will be a whole nother conversation too, and I don't want to touch deep into that, but I will just be mindful of your career field, and how much that can impact your lifestyle, because it is a commitment, And once you raise your right hand, you can be called anytime to serve in that capacity. But also through the I am a member of an organization, the Veterans Affinity Group, through the current uh, federal agency that I serve at, and we do a whole lot of service as well. So you do not necessarily need to join the military. There are many other organizations that you can actually use to serve the country and your communities. I mean, a couple of the things that we've done is collect boots for troops, for veteran homeless, and we provide a lot of services to our heroes, who are definitely not forgotten. And so, yes, I will definitely, I definitely, call upon anybody who's thinking about their career paths, and definitely federal service or the military should be those, careers that you should be looking into, or at least give them a chance and see if they have if your bachelor's, or you don't even have to have a bachelor's, if you're um if what it is that you like doing fits best with what they have to offer.
That's absolutely. And I love that you put it back on the individual.
Yes,
Thank you for sharing
absolutely.
all of that information. But you're
Yes,
right, there's so much to do that we put in
yes,
a box and forget
yes.
that and there's a lot that folks just don't know the federal government actually touches. So
Right.
thank you for your voice in
Wow.
how to keep peers uplifted, how to
Yes.
make it a family versus just a 9 to 5.
Absolutely. And that is actually, there are many organizational theories that talk about motivation of an individual. But at the end of the day, regardless of your background or your race, because I personally don't like to be boxed into, one. Into one specific subculture. I mean, I'm an American. I serve this country, and so regardless of, I was born and I'm raised right Hispanic, Latina, but I don't like to box myself in. I am definitely a human being with a lot of eagerness to help the community. And yes, there are a lot of uh, organizational theories that talk about the specific individual's motivation. So, motivation throughout the workforce has been actually studied and researched in many different ways, and and the research continues, but it depends on what each individual, in what motivates each individual. So different things motivate different individuals. And so I will, especially for the youth, I will definitely advise that you look for what it is that motivates you. Is it the money? Is it the, of course, all of us have to work to make ends meet. But what is it that really motivates you? Is it helping others? Maybe because of your past experiences, or is it, you have to look for what it is that motivates you, and whatever motivates you, and you have also, is it for what it makes you feel, or is it for external things, because you have integral external motivations. But finding that motivation, it's great, but you don't have to find it right away. You will find it later on throughout your career. And whatever motivates you, just do that and help others if you can, and if that's within your motivational scale. But different people are motivated by different things, and we all need each other. We need those intrinsical motivators, and we need those extrinsical motivators, in order to have a functional society. So whatever motivates you.
Our differences are what unite us.
Yes,
Right? They're
absolutely.
the best part about us, that we all have uniqueness to us. And they say when you love what you do what you love.
Uh,
So I appreciate that, Magda. Magda, we're going to talk a lot about some of the great things that you touch, including your heart's work to push the combined federal campaign,
Thank you.
and the fact that you are an equal opportunity educator, and that the voice of everyone matters. So, listen, family, I need you to stay tuned. I don't want you to go anywhere because there's so much more we're going to discuss as we enjoy the presence and this wonderful interview with the fabulous Magda Brown Gomez. So, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hello, Marshall Weeks here with you, and today we're tackling a question that many of us face. Why is it so hard to save money? Let's explore this common challenge through the lens of financial literacy and Christian stewardship. Many of us find saving difficult often because of immediate financial pressures or the temptation to spend rather than save. However, looking at this from a spiritual perspective, we are reminded in the Bible that managing our finances wisely is not just practical, it's a part of our stewardship duties. First, the societal pressures. We live in a culture that emphasizes immediate gratification over long-term planning. Ads and social media constantly push us to spend, making saving seem less appealing. Proverbs 21:17 warns, "Whoever loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever loves wine and olive oil will never be rich." This verse isn't just about indulgence in food and drink, but speaks to a broader mentality of living for today's pleasures at tomorrow's expense. Additionally, many of us face real economic challenges like stagnant wages and rising cost of living, making it harder to put money aside. As Christians, this is where the concept of God's provision comes into play. Matthew 6:33 advises, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all things will be given to you as well." While this isn't a promise that financial planning will always be easy, it does remind us that prioritizing spiritual wealth over material wealth aligns us with God's broader provisions. Lastly, saving requires discipline, a fruit of the Spirit mentioned in Galatians 5:22-23. Developing self-control in our financial lives can help us resist the urge to spend impulsively and focus on building a secure future. Saving is not just about accumulating wealth, it's about preparing wisely for the future and honoring God with our resources. It's tough, but with faith and discipline, it's certainly achievable. Let's strive to be wise stewards of what we've been given, and remember, every penny saved is a step toward financial freedom and spiritual peace. You've been empowered because you should prosper.
Back to the Power Up family. Welcome, welcome back. We're glad that you're joining us, and we are still here with the phenomenal Magda Brown Gomez. Listen, with all that you do, Magda, and thank you for pouring into us before the break about the importance of following what you're inherently created to do. That there are opportunities in the federal workforce to do that, whether civilian or whether military, and others such as contracting services and things like that that still support. There's still also ways that we can give and be a real difference. So, you mentioned in the beginning how we had the opportunity to play something called the CFC Feud.
That was
First,
amazing.
help my audience, help our viewers to understand what CFC does, how important it is, and then we can talk about the game.
Well, listen, thank you so much, Tommy. Yes. Okay. So the CFC supports thousands of organizations across the United States and across the globe. Actually, it's across the globe, really, and addressing issues like hunger, homelessness, education, healthcare, environmental sustainability, and within those pockets you can help or military members, you can help there are other subcomponents, but whether it's providing medical care to understand to underserved communities, funding disaster reliefs, or relieve or supporting veterans and active duty military families, I mean, the impact of your contribution is far reaching. That's what the combined federal campaign it's for. And every dollar that you donate has the power to make and impact the lives of individuals, and not only just impact their lives, but every time that we help somebody, we are giving them hope. Because sometimes it's not about giving something, you know, a lot of people, when they think about giving, they think about giving material things, but um, just providing companionship, right? We are all in this together, and we are all at some point of our lives are gonna go through different stages, and there are times to give and times to receive. So if you can't, you know, but we can all help, and we can all give from whatever we are. So if you can't really necessarily provide monetary support, you can definitely do something to help raise awareness, or you can provide companionship, as I mentioned before. But you can also donate. There are many ways to actually help. So you can make a donation, you can spread awareness, you can organize an event and join the combined federal campaign. If you're a part, as you mentioned, Tommy, if you're a contracting employee, or if you're a full-time federal employee, or military member, you can join the CFC, and you can volunteer, and that will help you actually with your leadership skills as well. You can encourage, you know, people donating gifts. You can volunteer uh, your time, which is priceless, right? So sometimes people think about money, and they're like, oh, no, I don't want to be a part of that because I haven't donated this year. But you will also, you can also help raise awareness. You can volunteer at with your local community, and it doesn't have to be for long either. Like, you can go and you can volunteer for an hour. It depends on how much you want to give. And right now, with you know, the virtual world, you can ask, you know, you can choose a specific organization of your choice, and you can reach out to them and ask if you can actually help by making phone calls. I know that, for example, there are a lot of organizations that help the elderly with phone calls, and that provides companionship. So the opportunities are endless. So we can all make an impact in our communities, and then make the world a better place. There are a lot of ways that we can make our communities better, and that's one of the ways. Of course, providing jobs, right? And then that's where the motivation in part comes in. And because motivation to get an education, to to do voluntary work, to work for free at a specific organization, so that you can, move up the ladder and you can get a job. But we also need to think about our communities and how we can actually improve them by giving back, by volunteering them, by meeting having them meet us where we are, and or by offering your expertise as well. If you have knowledge on a specific subject, you can volunteer by giving your expertise. And so I think it's so important. And some of the ways that you can actually donate are by through your payroll deduction, through a credit card, debit card, through via check. I don't know if people uses checks much, but yes, checks, or e-checks, right? Volunteering hours, as I mentioned before. And also the CFC has a mobile app. So those are the ways that you can that you can actually provide that donate. Those are other opportunities that you can donate, or other resources through which you can donate.
Wow, and CFC has really been a pioneer in trying to bring the federal workforce together for hard work. This year, your theme, Give Happy. Tell us about the theme and where it comes from.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it was outstanding. So are you talking about the Give Happy, the Family Feud?
Go ahead, please. Tell us about the CFC
Oh
feud.
my
Yes.
gosh. Okay, it was outstanding. So the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, where we have the honor to be, a part of. we were able to. So I'm a part of the, and Tommy is too a part of the CFC family, the combined federal campaign of the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. And each federal agency has a team of people, has different subgroups that put together events. And this year we actually put on the Family Feud. And when we were thinking about who can moderate the Family Feud better than the one and only Miss Tami Thomas, right? I mean, you did an outstanding job. You did an amazing job. It was flawless. He helped raise awareness. He helped everyone ease their nerves and just be themselves. And actually, different people came on camera, and they were able to provide information as to the different ways in which the combined federal campaign can support communities. And that included the homeless, that included students, right? And that include or education, that included health, veterans, and I think in justice. And so it was outstanding, and also the game was a lot of fun. Oh my God, what do you think about it, Tommy? What do you think about it? It was
Oh,
amazing.
listen, was a great experience, and I applaud you, who is the producer and coordinator of the whole thing. How you were able to pick individuals from across the country,
Beautiful.
across different parts of federal service, and bring them together for one cause. Everyone from leadership to frontline. It's oftentimes easy to get frontline folks in that leadership, or vice versa. And so I just had the opportunity to wear the mustache and be Mr. Harvey, for example, but you were the brains that pulled it together. I appreciate, I want to share this. I know it was the first time that that was done, and I think it was an amazing way to bring creativity into a cause. Like,
Yeah.
who thinks to share the information? Let's make it a game show so that people want to be interested and laugh while we're doing it. And so I applaud you and all that you all are doing in leadership with CFC. What's next for Magda?
Thank you so much, Tanya. It really means a lot coming from you because you are a professional in these fields, and so, and I know that you have experience with, producers, and your show is just outstanding. And so, I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I'm not a producer by any means, but I just put together this event. But yes, it was outstanding, and it was really easy working with professionals from all across the country that actually believe in this cause, including yourself. And given, I think that once people have that motivation of serving others, everything else will fall into place because people have the passion, and that's something that you can't teach passion. And so I think it was, and that eagerness for helping. And so I think that's why it was so successful. I really love that Family Feud game, and I think that event, and I really think that CFC can actually use that for future events, and to
Mm,
actually, yes. So, and as an example, because it was outstandingly done by a lot of professionals. What's next for
yeah.
me? Well, I'm gonna continue to serve. Absolutely. I'm going to continue to serve our communities and in my capacity. I would love to, of course, I'm always preparing myself and working on my education and to be able to help better and best my community and those around me. And so that's what's next for me. I'm going to continue to prepare myself, to continue to help others and see how, based on need, how I can best prepare myself to help them. But and also just enjoying my baby. Being a new mom, it's one of the most uh, rewarding experiences, and it also brings unique challenges, especially in the workplace, trying to manage and balance your personal life and work. But as a new mom, even though you're balancing all of those demands and navigating those emotional and physical transitions of motherhood, it can be overwhelming at times. But this journey brings a lot of new perspectives and enhances time management. It helps you see what, um, just the new things that are out there I mean, through my baby, I'm learning about, it's like a whole new world. I'm learning about what kids like, what's out there in the market, what's, best ways to help my baby learn, and also help her to understand how important it is to help and our communities. And so, uh, I'm taking a lot of care of myself right now. I'm back to running, and I'm back
Yes, I
to,
saw you just
yes,
completed a 5K. I saw
yes.
that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, Tommy. You know what? It's different for different people. People's bodies are different. While people, some people are probably like, Magda, I run 5Ks every other day. Listen, like 3.4 miles or what have you, or 3.2 miles. But I'm like, for me, it's been, this is where I am. This is my third 5K. I'm running one every week. And I'm putting it out there because, mothers, hopefully it inspires other mothers to start, get out there, new moms, and get out there and start running. And when I was running my 5K, I saw a lot of support too, from other mothers actually pushing their babies, their car, and that is great. That is very motivational. So
Absolutely.
yes.
Listen, as long as we're continuing to be our best self, we can make a difference no matter what we do, Magda.
You know what, absolutely. So taking care of ourselves first, taking care of ourselves, and if and that is where that work life balance comes in. So I am just, right now, as my daughter is growing and she will continue to grow healthy, I really just want to take it one step at a time and just continue to help her and continue to be healthy and strong for her. And
So
so
before any you move into the next endeavor, I want you to know that I'm so very grateful to be connected to you and the work that you're doing.
thank
I'm
you.
so honored to watch those little poo cheeks just get bigger. And congratulations on motherhood and everything else that you get to experience. It's a ride, so enjoy. And you are doing it with elegance and class and grit. Like you are a fighter doing this
Oh,
thing.
thank
And
you.
everyone's watching you. So thank you for sharing your journey on social media platforms because that inspires others. So
Oh,
before I let you go, Magda, you
yes.
are also someone who loves to pour into people. You actually have a heart for others. So I want
Yes.
to leave you with this last few seconds or few minutes, if you would. If there's a viewer that's watching who might, during this holiday season, be feeling a little hopeless or need that motivation, what type of words would you like to share with them? Positive energy.
Positive. Well, first of all, positive energy. Human beings, we are stronger than we think we are. I please reach out if you're feeling the blues, or not feeling yourself. Just please feel free to reach out to a loved one. I can actually give you, Tommy, some general numbers where people can call, and I'm definitely gonna follow up with you on that so that you can actually share that with everyone. But please, reach out to anyone, talk to people. But during this Christmas time, it is the time of hope. It is the time of giving. It's the time of year to give. Be good to yourself, and also try to see if you can find some happiness by giving and volunteering, with your local community. And maybe they can also provide you with services. And sometimes just putting yourself out there, you can find other people uh, with similar needs, with similar wants, and you can find groups of people that can help you with whatever it is that you're going through. But certainly talk to someone. Don't battle it in, and try to support the community. As we talk about the combined federal campaign, it's the holiday season, and it is definitely the time to give to others and to lift up others and ourselves. and make sure that you stay healthy so that you can help others. And again, Tammy, I'm gonna give you those phone numbers that I believe that people should have, especially during this Christmas, during this holiday season. Because not everyone celebrates Christmas, but I'm definitely gonna provide those to you so that they can serve as as resources for anyone who might need them.
That's
But thank
great.
yes, but thank you so much, Tommy, for having me in your show. I really
Ah,
appreciate you. And let me
um,
tell you, and I really enjoy and appreciate our collaboration. You're a great mentor. You're a great person to talk to, and I really just enjoy collaborating with you because I feel that this is a safe platform, and I feel like I can be myself every time I talk to you, and I hope that you can feel yourself when you talk to me, and so thank you so much for this collaboration. It's a great way of ending the 2024, and I hope to collaborate with you and continue to collaborate with you on the many causes that you believe in this 2025.
Absolutely. And the many, many years to come as
Yes,
this
in many
video
years to
gets
come, please.
replayed. As this video gets replayed in the future years, the
Yeah,
information is still solid, it's still necessary, and
thank
you
you.
are phenomenal, Magda. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining us, for the
Thank
work that you do, even what folks don't see that's behind the scenes, and all while just trying to be a better you, and now a mom and a wife. You are just a rock. I hate to say rock star after I saw that commercial about if you're not really a rock star, they don't like us calling each other rock stars. But you and I laugh all the time about that. So
you. Yeah.
thank you for being a
Oh,
difference maker. There we go.
thank
Family,
you.
the one and only Magda Brown Gomez.
Thank
Thank you for elevating the CFC, the Combined Federal Campaign, and how
you.
folks can give. If you're in federal service and if you're not outside, you can find Ms. Gomez on her social media platforms. Just Google Magda Gomez Brown. She'll pop up on many of the platforms. And thank you again for your service to in our military
Thank
and all
you.
that you do. Stay safe and healthy and enjoy this holiday season with the Poochies.
Yes, happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We bring you the best here on the Power Up. Stay tuned. There's more after this. Hey, family, welcome back to the Power Up. Promised you a great show. Our producers are the absolute best. And here we try to bring you excellence and expertise so that we can all elevate together. We started with Inside the News, where we shared statistics that show that even though individuals might be in a different emotional place, that they're still nationally given at major levels. You have opportunities to still impact change. We're going to share, hopefully, my producers can catch up with me as I throw this curveball, the lifeline to the suicide prevention lifeline shortly, because we do care about your emotional state. But inside the news, we shared how it's important that you tap into the opportunities you have to give. If thank you produce we I told y'all we have the best of the best, that no matter what you are feeling, there's help for you. You can go to the Lifeline, which is at 988lifeline.org, or text the word home to 741-741. There's someone readily available, sitting, waiting just to hear your story, because we'd rather hear what you're going through than read your obituary. Please take time to call someone. As Magda said, connections matter, but your presence in the earth is not by accident, even in this time when it's heavy. Thank you so much, producers. We're going to put that back up again in a second. I do want to also thank the amazing Magda Gomez-Brown for joining us. She is a voice for, as she said, everybody. She represents women in military, women in federal workforce, now mom the banner, at running 5Ks, y'all. It's just amazing to see the work she does on so many different levels and lifting our workforce. She's also a phenomenal voice for the Hispanic and Latina community on things we hadn't even talked about today. When I tell you she takes awareness to a whole nother level, we're so grateful she joined us today, reminding us, those who are in the federal workforce and those who might be contractors, that you can give to the combined federal campaign known as CFC. You have the opportunity to also make a difference, whether through a debit donation, credit donation, you can even volunteer. I learned something today. I didn't know that they have ways to connect you, that if you make phone calls for seniors, that helps them. I didn't know that was a thing. I love it. Go, Magda, and what the CFC is doing across the federal government. Different ways to touch and help wherever it's needed. And I thank you for elevating this information and for joining us as always. Family, no excuses, no limits, no distractions. Be the difference where you are. And the combined federal campaign is an opportunity for you. We're looking forward to having Magda come back again as she shares more information. One of the things that Magda and I share at this time of year is concern, though. We want to be very careful. While the federal government is an amazing employer, and she elevated the fact that you can have arts, there's graphics design, there's singers that are funded by the federal government. Did y'all know that? There are performers, people who are tourists that lead tours. What are they called? Tour guides. There we go. At museums. Do you know there's contractors? The folks that cut lawns could be federal workers. So there's no limits. It's not just limited to a desk, as she shared. The federal workforce is so important to making sure that this country operates. And what we end up only seeing is the president and Congress, and we think that's it for the federal government. There are services that are funded by the federal government, like Medicaid, like Social Security, Meals on Wheels. How about those after school programs? Or they're building courts, basketball courts, or playgrounds. There are some that are just repairing sidewalks, building bridges just to help it make it easier for you to get to where you need to commute to. And all of that right now is in limbo. And we need your help. We need you to reach out to your senator and your congressman as this country faces another looming shutdown by going to senate.gov or house.gov. Identify who your voice is. You voted for them. You have to help them hear your voice. Hear that it's not okay to put our veterans and their health care in jeopardy. It's not okay to put our military overseas in jeopardy. Anything that's federally funded is in this moment facing not being funded or having a pause. So it's more than just having a lot of employees not get a paycheck. There are also services that will be suspended. Please reach out to your senator. You can find them, if you don't remember since casting that ballot, by going to senate.gov and your house, your representative. Yes, that is your voice that works for you. You can call that office, bombard them with calls. They still accept old school emails. You can do that too. And you're welcome to write an old school letter, put a stamp on it, and get it there as well. They need to hear from as many of us as possible to tell them you all have to come together and pass a budget. That there's no reason we're at the 12th hour and hasn't been done. We just need to push them and remind them of where we, the ones who elected them, need them to rest. go to senate.gov and house.gov to identify, get their contact information, figure out what you need to do to be able to let them know it's just not okay to put mama's lifeline in jeopardy. That we're already in an inflation. We're already dealing with a tight economy, and now that might pause. Folks might not get paid. Museums will close, and there are individuals who plan family trips this time last year to come and spend Christmas in DC or Christmas in another city. And because the federal government shuts down, that means those federal landmarks shut down. Think about that. You might have planned a trip to go see a federal landmark in another state. Well, if there's a shutdown, all parks close. What you can do is elevate your voice. Senate.gov and House.gov. As wonderful as the federal workforce is, here's the key: it's your tax dollars. Y'all know that we pay for the federal workforce through our tax dollars. And so they're accountable for what they do with your money. We are accountable for what we do with your money. Make our senators and House representatives remember your voice matters and you want them to hear you. Please, in this moment, use your power and call them to make a difference. Thank you, as always, to our military, to our veterans, to those who put themselves in harm's way, to the first one, 911 responders, those who run into disaster, and while the rest of us are running away from it, thank you. To those who are in the hospitals and ER rooms, and those who are in the medical forefront that were elevated during the pandemic, so much so that you were trapped in hospitals because you were overwhelmed with people. Thank you for sacrificing your family and your time to help us to recover and still remaining sensitive while you're doing that. Compassionate, wonderful angels of mercy in our medical field. Thank you. To all of the teachers and all of those coaches and whatever you're doing out there in the world that has an impact in your neck of the world, it's too important to not rise up, get up, and then show up to make a difference. Family, we want to again remind you that if these holidays are hard, please touch the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Please contact others in your community. You are not meant to bear this burden alone. You can reach out to folks that want to hear you. There's someone around you that cares. I've been in a place where I was surrounded by people and felt alone. I've been there. I was in a place where it was so black and so dark. I didn't see a way out except considering the worst, making a permanent decision in a temporary space. We want you to know you matter. We want to celebrate your win. Just know you will make it through this. And while you're in it, come on and help somebody else. There's still somebody around you that's worse and needs you now more than ever. Cry and hug, cry and give, but put one foot in front of the other. Use your hands and your voice. Use everything with you to make a difference. We thank you for joining us on the Power Up today. Wow. We hope this made you feel equipped, educated, empowered, and elevated, honey. And we'll see you next time.